less than the normal. Our patient hitting the urgent care, 40%. This is established data that we get from Millman, from all the health plans. So HIPAA is the most cost-effective IPA. And what does HIPAA do? Else do? I have to show you. Just like, I learned from during the pandemic, HIPAA has a foundation, HIPAA Foundation. We started to ask for donations from our physician, from our staff, from our community partner to help all these hospitals to do what? We deliver the personal protective gear, right? Equipment. We went over nearly 58 exact, nearly 60 hospitals. You see a lot of city hospitals?
Yes.
We even go to NYPQ and also near NYU hospital. And then when the pandemic hit, when the testing is available, state did not fund us or did not give us any testing kits. We actually went to beg BioReference, one of the major laboratories, to say, we want to get some testing kits and we will do for our community. We came up with this, we actually invented this, non-touch, no-touch testing. And we borrow from our payer, Empire Blue Cross Blue Shield, and also Fidelis. We borrow their RVs, their so-called marketing van, and we converted into a testing center, mobile testing center. We were the first one, and a lot of elected officials saying that you guys are always first in line and most ingenious to to actually provide the services without any government funding. So we started to vaccination. We work with the state. We work with elected officials like Grace Mann, Ron Kim, Jiang Lu, and we also work with the Asian American Federation to get all these vaccines. So, and if that is not enough, food insecurity is very important, right? It's very visible in our community. I tell you why. You should know, as an immigrant, right? We often work in the service industry. Like if I was a waiter, right, I will report the owner will report my hours, and that will be taxable. Whereas my tips, I may not report the whole tip because that's part of my cash income, right? So when you go to women's comp or unemployment, they only capture maybe 60% of your income. So when time to give you unemployment, they give you 80% of the 60, right? So that's why food insecurity is very serious in our community because it's a service industry, right? So we have Dr. James and Victoria Chen Family Foundation donated us $200,000. Health First, in 2 years, they donated $100,000, and we are our local charitable foundation, Lin Susan Chen Foundation, donated $20,000, and Starbucks Foundation donated $13,000. How did Starbucks get involved? They asked their employee to do community work, and through this community activity, the Starbucks employee have to vote, say which organization you want to give the money to, right? We cannot work alone, but we work with City Foundation.
Yes.
We provide the food pantry for Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn area, right? So all these other logos that you're seeing are the local distributor. They pitch in too. We buy some, but they also donate some, right? So we may be like doing this, January, I buy $1,000 worth of goods. In February, they donate maybe $500 worth of goods, So it's like give and take. You see? That person is me on the right, and this is the bag that we pack for these are food, right? And you see Shirley is there, right?
Shirley's always out.
Yeah, this is Karen, right? Karen will help us back, and we have other local, like help, Starbucks volunteers started working with us. Yeah. The food bank, I mean, city does help with food bank, but unfortunately, food bank food is not ideal for Chinese, right? They have canned beans and things that Chinese don't use. So we actually use our donated money to buy what? Tofu, vegetable, cooking oil, fresh eggs, fruits. These are what we give out. This is a Chinese New Year, double, right? Double. Because we know February is a Chinese New Year time. We want these people to get double of the food. Okay. This is our President and CEO, Dr. George Lu. Because of Asian hate crime was rampant, we actually participated in many anti-crime against Asian. We were in front of City Hall. Kaiba doctors, board of directors came out, line up and fight against that. Senator Schumer was there, and some of your elected colleague, Grace, I cut off Grace's body.
But we can recognize that's her.
Yeah, Letitia Jones, James was there. So, then we reminded everybody about the Asian American contributions, right? So in the 1800s, early 1800s, Asian American participated in the Civil War in Texas, right? We were serving in the U.S. Navy at that time. Asian American in the 1860s helped build the Intercontinental Railroad, right? And we had a record that hasn't been broken. In one day, we laid 10 miles of track. Nobody had beaten that record, not even the Irish group and whatnot, right? And this is, picture of the Chinese worker, and this is how much they get paid. They get paid.
Here are some images of Chinese worker from.
Oh, sorry.
They get paid about 60 cents of a dollar what the Irish immigrant was getting paid. Yeah, they were already getting discriminated at that time. Okay, and you have, all these pioneer of Asian American descent. You have all these, major contributor in the U.S., in the USA. There's no shortage of Asian Americans who contributed to this society, right? So, Kaiba not only is an IPA, of all the 10 so-called accountable care organization. Commissioner, do you know what accountable care organization is?
Can you share more?
Okay. IPA, I told you, is the Independent Practice Association. Accountable care organization essentially that the government, state government, Department of Health want to hold your group accountable. Accountable for what? For spending and care of the patient. Remember I said that earlier that if you lose money, if you didn't manage your medical dollar, you have to eat it. You have to cough up the money. That's what accountable care. Only out of the state, right? There's many group of physicians, but only 10 apply for this kind of status. What kind of criteria can you meet that demand? You have to be very risk experienced. It means that you know your patient, you know how to take care of your patient, and you know that you're not going to lose money. You hope that you're not going to lose money. Like out of the 10, right, only 2 were physician-led. Kaiba is one of them. The other one is this one. Where is it? It's a Buffalo.
Buffalo.
It's Buffalo, right here, right below us. This group is like us. They're physician group. They're right up in the Buffalo. In fact, they want to meet us. And if you look at 2018, 2019, and 2020, this is the standard bar, meaning that this is the quality gauge. You see how Kaiba is, where Kaiba is? All above, way above the benchmark. This one, we're a little bit shy of the benchmark on breast cancer. That's because of the pandemic year. stay home. They don't want to go out, right? But before that, you could see clearly that Kuiper is always, and we are rated as #1 out of this 10, right? So we take our care very seriously. Not only that, we were voted Great Place to Work certified, 2020 and 2021. And we just announced that the Fortune Great Place, Fortune is another level, right? So Fortune magazine had rated as the entire United States 100 company, right? 35 are big company and 65 are smaller company like ours, small and medium company. We were voted in among this 100. We were 62, number 62 in the Fortune 100, the best place to work. And we also are very, how to say, environmental conscious. So we actually, encourage our patient to leave, our staff leave less carbon footprint. We actually, this uniform here that you see, it's made of the plastic bottle that you drink. These are recycled plastic bottles. So we want to buy those, we want to be environmental conscious. So, and this is an event that we had at Asian Heritage Night. These were the sponsors. These are the partners that we work with. So we're very proud of our record because this is probably the only IPA ACO in the state that the states are very familiar with.
Oh, this shows this is it.
Feel it. You wouldn't believe this is from the plastic bottle, and it's very air-free. Very
It's like
air-free.
an armor.
This is 8 by 6 water bottles.
Wow.
Material.
Who makes them for you?
This Buddhist City Foundation.
Oh,
Yeah, they have a technology company. It tells you how many bottles, 10 bottles.
Size small. Oh, your size small. That's bottles for you.
Do we have a new one to give it to the
Yeah, you
commissioner?
got a new one for the commissioner.
Okay.
He's extra large. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that amazing presentation. I'm sure you're very proud. I'm proud that, it's an effort by an immigrant community. And I think the mayor would be really impressed as well. He always talks about, celebrating successful stories, scaling up success, and, you certainly have been, especially because you're working with an immigrant community that might not have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
And you are able to service them in their language, in their culture, right? And that's important to us. So in any way we can support, that's why I came here, right? And, Lydia and yourself, and, we've been speaking about all the amazing work that you do. I'm visiting a lot of the organizations that we know have an impact, a positive impact in the community. Because in our administration, we want to be rooted, community-based, and we want to be responsive. So it's great for me to learn about these initiatives and the work that you do, so that when we make decisions, we know who to reach out to, right? We know the partners that are truly doing the work, with some of the most vulnerable, right? Because we have a lot of undocumented, community members, and sometimes they don't feel safe coming to government.
Of course not.
Of course not. So they come to you, and you can say it's safe, to access, like the police or other places, because they trust you, and, you're able to be that bridge. So thank you for the work that you do. And, we've met before on several occasions, and I got to see how much the community respects you here. And
We
So,
work together because it's, you know, at the end of the day, we have to help ourselves, right? Government has government issues and the government can only take, New York is such a diverse city, right? You have so many immigrant pockets,
yes.
right? You can't say, I mean, I can understand that as a government official, you want to spread, it's like your octopus, you want to spread all your legs everywhere. But you know, there are areas where you cannot touch and you need help. And we're standing here ready and able to help you, right? So I want you to, I want to be sure that you know that this community is very tight-knit and we wanted to be able to help ourselves. Even I was telling the reporter, we're not here to judge whether this person is documented or undocumented. We only, on a human level, we wanted to see that what this person needs. Is there some need that we could provide?
Yes.
Or the government, if we cannot provide, can the government give us a helping hand? You know, so I think the mission